I do have to. Good evening, everyone. Episode 8 of DJ's Classic Garage Live. And God, I feel like I'm sitting down in a hole. Oh, what an interesting week it's been. Well, somewhat interesting, car-wise. The big news, of course, is Stellantis picked the CEO, and I don't envy this guy's job. It would be better. You'd be easy to run a garbage dump and try to make it smell nice than to actually have Stellantis be a good company. Hi, Odo Barral. You're gonna take any phone calls tonight, right? Yeah. Oh, hi, Jamie and Benjamin. Of course, yes, bringing it. Yes, all new women getting free to DJ's Classic Garage podcast. Absolutely. Yes. I don't object to that. All right, so I have a few news stories this week that I just, figured I'd do here because it's no phone calls. Yeah, okay, good. Oh, Barbara. Where's Barbara? There she is. Good evening. Okay. Cool. All right, so this has actually been an interesting week if you like cars. It's a sad week if you like Chrysler. It really is. There's a whole mess going on. So let's kind of start off here with something kind of fun. And this is something I found the other day. It's too small. I'll make it a little bigger. There we go. So what your car says about you to other people. And this has always been an old stereotype because the old joke is that BMWs, the difference between BMWs and porcupines is BMWs, the pricks are on the inside, the whole thing. So judgment is alive and well on road. I'm going to skip down a little bit. About 52% of Gen Z, think about this, Gen Z, judge people based on what they drive. Boomers, which are people older than me, 33%. When it comes to dating, a full quarter said it absolutely matters. Good Lord. The most dateable people are Lexus, Volkswagen, Vintage 76, you're there. And Mercedes-Benz. Weirdly, Chrysler showed up too because dating isn't about logic. So think about that for a second. Chrysler showed up. So you're balling in a 300. If you drive a GMC, congratulations. You're the happiest person on the road. Jeep, BMW, Tesla, and Ford drivers also report high satisfaction, which tracks if your daily commute includes heated seats and Bluetooth, which actually works. Yes, it actually does in my Ford. So this is a study pulled in everything from the big 5 personality traits to fantasy cars. Some dream of Lambos, others of Porsches. But 20% of women said they screw the horsepower and they want something classic and cool. Meanwhile, one guy out there is absolutely defending his 2002 standard Saturn as reliable and misunderstood. Yeah. So this is an interesting article. There's obviously no scientific data in that. I love every part of that. Absolutely love every part of that. Amy rolling around on the hood of a car like I was in, in the Whitesnake video. Oh my. Nice. I came in the middle of a conversation. Benjamin, oh my God. Do you think the Dodge Dart will make a comeback? No, in fact, I think Dodge will actually go away. How's that sound? Honestly, I don't have. I did a video on it. Yeah, yesterday when it came out, the news. Oh, come on, Barbara. I love Benjamin's comments. They're fantastical. So, I did a video yesterday. It's in my thing on Stellantis naming a new CEO, and the search was long and hard because they found somebody in the company that's Italian, found by the Italian head of the border, the border, the Italian that runs the border. I'm tongue tied. The Italian that runs is the chairman of the board. So, oh, what's this? What about meant to ask you last week? Have you watched that show Donk Master? What do you think of that type of car? I have actually seen it. I think they're kind of cool, and they're cool in at least they're expressing themselves, and they actually put work into the car because they actually have donk racing. They do drag racing with those donks, and those cars run like 10-second quarter miles. So I'm more than okay with it. It's I mean, it looks a little ridiculous. It's got to ride like ass, but I feel like I'm not really in this picture. There we go. But when you think about it, I mean, at least it's something that somebody is customizing. Kind of, they're putting time into it. They're not just doing pretty-ish. They're actually working on the engine. The handling's garbage, but it's at least something cool. All the Stellantis cars gonna smell like pizza. That's racist. Yes, they are very fast because they spend money on the engines, which is a huge thing. Huge, because a lot of these other people that do this work on cars, they don't spend any money on the engine. And today it's easy and hard because you're limited by the manufacturer, because a lot of turbo cars you could turn up the wick on them. I know that Audis and Volkswagens very much you could turn the wick up, but then you're gonna be going into a whole issue of reliability. The same thing with my 3.5 and my EcoBoost. I mean, people are getting 600 horsepower out of 700 horsepower out of a 3.5 liter. It's just with the 360 I have in it now, I can barely control it. I can't fathom any real power. Hey, Larry Mondello's shoes is here. Excellent. Oh, cool. So this is actually kind of funny. It, of course, in a sad kind of way. So the family-friendly Dodge Muscle sedan is finally here for everyone to ignore. So not going to really go into the article. This is actually the appliance 4-door is going to be released this soon, and it should sell just as poorly as the 2-door version, because I mean, any sucker that wanted to buy one of these has already got them, and it's such a cool looking car. It's just a shame that it's pointless. So this came out, and of course, this came out right as they were announcing that the inline 6 is delayed for a very long time. I watched the thing TK Garage. He has people that work at Stellantis, and they say that inline 6 may not see this year. So that's why I'm saying that Dodge is probably finished at this point. Oh, well. Not good. Not good at all. So anybody else have anything weird happen? I know Larry Mondello's shoes. I think it was Larry. You've been having problems with your Chevy truck there, and you're looking at a Super Duty. So what do you think? Oh, what do I think of the new Bronco? Articulate John. I own one. Literally, well, the wife owns one, but I have one. I love it. Absolutely, we bought a Badlands Sasquatch because 2 reasons. First of all, the Sasquatch gives you 35s. It gives you a lift, and it's from the factory, so there's no guessing. It's still cheaper to do it that way than do it yourself because we're not super hardcore. Also on the road, the Sasquatch rides the best over bumps. The shocks, it has really good Bilsteins on it. Very nice ride on a highway. Very comfortable. Great heated seats. The wind noise in the hardtop is unbearable, though. I mean, it is not a quiet vehicle. Don't go into it thinking it's a luxury car. It isn't. It's far from it. And I honestly, that's the one real main criticism I have. It is loud inside. At 60 miles an hour, it is very, very loud. My BMW convertible is it's like if my BMW convertible is like 60 decibels at 75 miles an hour, this thing is like 80. And I wish I wasn't kidding. But otherwise, great vehicle though. No, that is not Puzzle. That is supercharged turbo demon. Yes, he's named after a car, and he's a supercharged turbo demon. He is, and he lives up to that name. So that is him. He's not as cuddly as the Puzzle. He truly isn't. But he's my little buddy, and he's my assistant. A lot of times he wears a bow tie because he's just that kind of cat. Sue M, I love the new Bronco. My neighbor has it. Is it a chick car? No, a lot of men buy it. A lot of women buy it. It's one of these vehicles that if you're into, having something you can make your own and you want to feel safe and secure in, it's pretty good. I mean, it has bells and whistles, but then it also, ours has a hose out interior. So if you get all mud and stuff, you just pull the plugs out, get the hose, rinse down the floor, you're done. So it's kind of a really interesting, it's interesting the buyers for it because I see a lot more. And there goes supercharged turbo demon. Yep. As you can see, now he's going to go because he doesn't like being trapped in a room with me like Puzzle. He's looking for a way out. So I actually have three pusses, as you say. The third one, she tolerates me. That's actually her food. That's her food bowl. She eats in here because she's a bitch, pain in the ass. Yeah. Yes, they do like the back of their printer. It's just nothing back there. It's just literally, it's just a space behind it. There's nothing there that can get in trouble. So it's just there. So yeah, but yeah, the Bronco absolutely would recommend it. I would actually, we have the 4-cylinder with the 6-speed. Actually, it's a 7-speed. Absolutely. You got to get the man transmission. You have to get the man transmission. Don't waste your time with the automatic. Sticking that thing is awesome. Jamie, unfortunately, Puzzle's dog sibling passed away. It was very, very sad. Yes. Yes, DJ's classic pets. Absolutely. Well, might as well. Maybe I'll do a whole thing on pet friendly cars. So here's some good news for what's up with my charger. Oh, Jesus. So I actually took it out yesterday. And because I had to change spark plugs in it. And he just knocked something down. Where is? Yes. So I had to change spark plugs on it because they're too hot. And I went and Champion doesn't sell doesn't sell super cold plugs anymore. The coldest they sell is 7s, and it's a scale. It's like from Champion, like the lower numbers, the colder plug, and I needed something like a 43 or a 6, and I didn't have it, so I ended up putting NGK. I put some NGKs in there. And I found one that was pretty cold. And I put it in the car. The car ran much, much better. Had the air conditioning on. It was 90 degrees outside. Was comfortable. And whoa! And there is supercharged turbo demon right there with his flame collar. You see, everybody has a flame collar. Oh, all right. Let me let him out, everybody. Hold on. Jackass. Okay. Do any of my cats like riding the car? No. They tolerate it. They tolerate it. That's literally the only way I could put it. Yes, that's what he does. That is what the supercharged turbo demon does. He will literally go across the back of his chair if I'm working on a video, working on his computer, and he will just lay his stuff right across it. And I have a headrest that purrs. It's actually kind of comfortable. So back to my charger. So I took it out and it ran well. Did full wide open throttle pulls with the air on and whatnot. Didn't really ping, but I pulled out the plugs and they're white, which is not the way they're supposed to be, kind of tans. But I had to run it a little more and see if it's just a gas or if I don't know. I have to give it more fuel. It's a whole thing. So that's where I am with my charger. We're pretty much at this point, Al. We're pretty much at the end of car season here in Florida. It is now at the point of sheer misery. Today it was 99 degrees at my house. The humidity was 50%. So you do the math on that. It's ungodly hot. It's uncomfortable to go anywhere. The car is there. You're not bad in the car. It's a little rough on the car, but when you get somewhere, you're dying because it's in the upper 90s and it's sweaty and it's wet and it's terrible. And we haven't had rain in weeks and everything's dying. La da 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 da. Okay. So that's the charger update. I should just pull the plug and brought it in. Yeah, see, you're up there in the part of the world where it gets nice in the summer. Yeah, we got a couple. What about Al? We got a couple of car shows coming up, and here where I live for some of the summer festivals. Yeah, mine's over. I mean, there are people that try to put on some car stuff in the evening, but that's so hit and miss because that's when it rains. So it's like, you know. Yes, Barbara, it is all about the dew point. I'll give you a little hit. My dew point was 77 today. 77. That's disgusting. Hi, Vintage 76 Garage. Have you tried using a wideband to fine tune your charger? What he's talking about is using an O2 sensor. And yeah, I thought about it, but then that would also entail that I would have to, cut a hole in my exhaust, put it in. But see, here's the problem: is two pipes. So technically, you should use two widebands. And honestly, I'd want it to be on the richer side. I'd want it to be under 13. And you can pretty much tell that from the plugs and the way it's running. I'm already going crazy enough trying to tune it. I don't need this actually may make me insane if I did that. I already have that with my truck. My truck has I think has a leaky injector or two. And I'm sitting there with I have the OBD2 reader that I did a review on, and I've been watching the live data on that, watching the fuel trims and the percentages, and I can get a little obsessive with it, and yeah. Sue M. Dennis, will you and your assistant take another road trip this summer? That's a question. Maybe. Honestly, maybe. I mean, the assistant is graduating high school now. It would probably be good. And you know what? It would be better if she drove. We could even take the same damn car because now that car is completely different. I need to do an update on that car because I have done the roof, I have done the clutch. I'm working on the clutch video now. It's hours of fun. I put in new seats. I put in a new radio unit that actually has sound. It has Bilsteins all around on it now. It has tight spark plugs. It doesn't miss. I mean, it has a whole new shifter setup in it. It's a great car now. Absolutely great car. So I will have to do it. Maybe I'll do it. Maybe I'll film it this weekend and get it done, get it out because it's really cool. But she needs to be driving it. I think that would be the better thing. Benjamin, With your classic cars, do you keep the original radio in them or do you update them to a modern one? Well, it depends. The Charger has the original radio in it, literally the original radio in it. But I modified the plug on the back. I made an adapter where I put a Bluetooth that I can line Bluetooth in, because the actual FM on that is atrociously bad. The BMWs didn't have the original radios in them to start with, so I just upgraded them. Both of them have Bluetooth. The 95 has a full Android Auto screen. The 89 just has Bluetooth, which is good enough for me. But those BMW radios aren't really impressive. They're not really nice. The Charger one looks cool because the way it lights up and it has knobs. It has knobs and stuff on it, so it's all right. You know, thank you. I'll tell her that she, hopefully she can go to school someplace and be able to yes, we'll see the Beamer Bell. She'll be able to work on her drawing, because that's what she does. She's doing commercial art. She's very, very artistically talented. A ride along would be fun. That was fun, actually. If you haven't seen those videos, honestly, they are pretty fun. We especially stopping at the Dr. Pepper Museum, and I finally got my Dr. Pepper freaking coconut, which I can't find. Has anybody else seen the Dr. Pepper coconut? Because I haven't seen it. I love it. It's delicious. The only place I had it was the Dr. Pepper Museum last year. I actually did a whole thing on there. No, actually with her and I now. Yeah, we had fun. It was good. It was good. It was very, very, very good. So I'm gonna kind of move along, and here's another little interesting thing I found this week, and it's kind of inside joke here. Will you see the assistant's artwork in dance papers? Yes, of course you will. In September. So here, GM is betting $900 million on a new V8. Now, this is when Chrysler ran away from V8s and built their Huracan 6. They're going to build this engine in upstate New York. It's a new small block, and it's going to go into the full-size trucks and SUVs, but it also may fit into, cars, because it seems like General Motors learned their lesson from trying to do do all the EVs, and Barra seems like she's not as bad as I thought she'd be. She actually seems almost like she understands that they need to sell cars to make money. So this new engine's coming out in 2027. We really don't have much details on it, but we know that they are building a new V8. And that is awesome news to have, because, while Stellantis is just absolutely running themselves into the ground with inline sixes and EVs, General Motors realized they need to sell cars. Let's see. And let's see. Barbara DeRush, we're in upstate New York. Oh, are they building these cars because I live in Albany? They are just building the engines in Tonawanda. Who knows? Let's see. Where's this plant? Tonawanda, New York. No, so and it's beautiful. Where do you live? So you live up by Albany? I used to go to Lake George all the time when I was a kid. I mean, that was our summer vacation in August, so of course it was cold, but that's where we went. Yeah, that's where they had production before, because I have somebody that is in the Italian club with me that when he was a kid lived outside of Buffalo, and he had a job in the warehouse because he knew how to drive a forklift. And they take the engines and they would put them in storage after they built them. So yeah, they've been up there for a while. Vintage 76 Garage, will the new GM V8 have overhead valves? Don't know. I would hope so. Actually, I would no. I would hope there would be an overhead cam engine. I mean, at this point, there's no reason to run an overhead valve engine and not have overhead cams. Ford showed that you could build overhead cams and be very reliable, extremely reliable. Yeah, extremely reliable. Let's see. I'm right in the Colony, which is right by the Northway that you pass to go to Lake George. Oh yeah, I remember that. It was it was so nice going up to Lake George. I mean, it was not, I miss going into water that I'm not scared that things are going to eat me. So, oh man, Sue M. There's the greatest Irish bar right before you get to that main road to Lake George. Ah, damn. Really? I was too. It's a shame I don't go up there anymore. Damn. That sounds fun. Larry Mondello's shoes and the saga continues. My 3500 has been at the dealership now for 3 weeks. I should get it back tomorrow. They are idiots. I'm getting a 2014 F250 6.7 diesel. No rust on the frame and the interiors woke up. There you go. What I would suggest, if it's all still pretty good, I've seen on the Bronco forum, people use fluid film and they just spray the frames with it before winter. Seems to work pretty well. So it is, but good luck with that. I mean, that's a much better truck. That's a pretty reliable truck. The 6.7's all worked out by then. 250 is a good truck. It'll be really comfortable. That's one thing about Fords. They're so comfortable. Yeah, Sue M used to go to the Sagamore all the time. Yeah, we used to actually go fishing on the lake. Never really, it was called fishing, not catching, because I think we caught like 6 fish in like the 5 years we went up there. And we used to go by the Sagamore because we used to stay at these thing called Echo Lane. There were little cabins, and because it was kind of relaxed, when you're a kid, you have the cabin, you have the little kitchen, and the people were really nice, and they had pool table, and you had soda machines, and it was really a fun place. Let's see. What's happening now? Lake George this Barbara DeRush. Lake George is packing them in this weekend for Americade, the motorcycles. Oh my God, they have a motorcycle meet up there. Isn't it still cold? Isn't it still not warm up there yet? I mean, because I think it gets warm like in July. I can't imagine riding a motorcycle now. It's got to just be, oof. Damn. Wow. Oh. So, speaking of, well, we're going to work on engines some more because this ought to be kind of fascinating. I found this actually boggled my mind. It's the 10 oldest engines still being used. 10. And shockingly enough, I could be a little bigger than that. There we go. Shockingly enough, the Chrysler Hemi is not the oldest one, but they actually kind of screwed that up because it actually is. Which is weird, but the Hemi is actually much older because it's based on the 273, which became the 318. So that engine is 50. The architecture is 50. Oh my God, it's almost 60 years old. Yeah, it is 60 years old. It's 61 years old. So their thing is the 6.7, the Rolls-Royce V12 2003, the Hemi 2003, but we know that it actually goes back another 40 years from that. Wow. So yeah, so another 40 years back. The Toyota V6 from 2002. The Honda K Series inline 4 from 2001. They still use this. Volkswagen Group W12 2001. I think they're going to finally stop making it. It's one of the weirdest engines ever made. The Ford Modular V8. Now I have an argument with this. this is a stretch because the 4.6 and the new Coyote really don't have much of the same, of the same guts to it. So, it's kind of the same family, but it's not the same engine by any stretch. The Ferrari 140 F140 V12 from 2002, Nissan VQ series from 1994. This is like in the Frontiers and stuff. The GM Duramax V8 2001. That's a diesel. And the Chevy Small Block LT from 2014. It's just kind of interesting, that that the that honestly, I just find it weird that they made the modular Fords all the same, but when it came to the Hemi, they forgot that it was based on the 318 273. All right. Oh, let's see what we got going on here. Vinci 76 Garage. Do you think Hemi with 4 cams would work? Yes, absolutely. In fact, if I had been running Stellantis, I would have developed actually a big Fiat Chrysler in 2014, 2012. I would have gone, okay, this is nice. But I would say we need a new engine. And I honestly, a 340 cubic inch, 5.6 liter dual overhead cam Hemi would have been a world beater. It would have been a lot lighter. It would have honestly gotten better fuel economy without doing any tricks to it because it's just much more efficient. It would have a hell of a lot more power. If you do a direct and port injected at the same time, you're going to get a lot of power out of it. And you wouldn't have to do the weird twin plug that they did. You could have done single plug with the 4 cams, and it would be an animal. And you could probably get that engine to rev to probably $8,000 because BMW built something like that in the 2007 to 2013 M3. That was a V8. It was one of the last V8s, new V8s BMW built. It was a twin cam Hemi head, revved to 8,400 RPM, and absolutely one of the most phenomenal engines I have ever driven. By far, literally, it was a sewing machine. The power would not stop, and it sounded wonderful at $8,000. It sounded wonderful. So it was really, really, really cool, and definitely. But that's what Chrysler, could have. Dodge, Chrysler, Ram could have had something in the 340 cubic inch area. You get a 5.6 liter, 5.7 liter, 5.8 liter, 5.6, 5.8, somewhere in there. You didn't have to go, you wouldn't have to go over 6 liters with it. It would get a lot of power. It would have a lot of torque. And it'd be a hell of a lot more reliable than the current one. This is always people ask me this hard question. Dennis, if you could buy any car in the world, what would it be? Jesus. Oh boy. Wow. That is the hardest question in the world. I love too many cars because I love Aston Martins and I'd love a Vanquish. Oh my God, I'd love a Vanquish like from yesterday. I would love a Hemi Daytona just because it's weird. I mean, it's so hard to say just a car because I just can't. I just can't. My God. Oh, yeah. That is the hardest question in the world. It really is. For a car guy, that's so hard. Larry Mandello shoes. Dennis, what do you think about rotary engines? They're phenomenal. The thing with a rotary engine is that Mazda originally designed it to be a efficiency engine. And that didn't work out so well because they put it in a small car and it got really bad fuel economy but for making pure power, they're incredible. Once you turbocharge them, they're animals because they spin. There's no moving parts. The only problem with them is that the seals wear out. So every 50,000 miles or so, you have to rebuild them. But then again, it's not hard to rebuild them because it's literally you take them apart There's a channel called I Do Cars. He actually disassembled one, and he showed it. There's really not a lot to it. There's like an intake thing here and an exhaust over here, and it spins, and you just change the seals, put it back together, put it back in the car. It is literally one of the most simplest engines in the world to get a lot of power out of. And it's a shame because the EPA and all the other stupid rules we have that we don't have this engine, because honestly, pound for pound, it is one of the most powerful engines ever built. I mean, seriously, they weigh what, 150 pounds, maybe. And they can put out like 400 plus horsepower easy. I mean, I'm not even not. I mean, a lot more than that, but easily that much horsepower with turbocharge. Do you prefer Jamie? Do you prefer driving manual or automatic? Ooh, depends on the day. It depends on the vehicle. Um, My truck, I couldn't see that as a manual because it's so damn big. It's not great. But for the most part, I'd rather drive manuals. We have 3 manual cars, so I enjoy manuals a lot more. Unfortunately, my Charger's an automatic, nothing I can do about that. Automatics have their place. In heavy traffic, they're a hell lot better. But for driving pleasure, no, nothing beats a stick. Nothing beats a stick. For drag racing, nothing beats a stick. As long as you know what you're doing, nothing beats a stick. And I actually had the best of both worlds. I had a BMW. Oh, actually, hold on. I found the picture of it. I had yeah, this is my car. I had one of these. That's a 2005 BMW 330. That car had a sequential gearbox in it. So I actually had the best of both worlds. It was a stick, but I didn't have to use a clutch. And I kind of enjoyed it in traffic. It was pretty good. But yeah. Uh Vintage 76, Stellantis needs to build a 4-cam V8 Hemi engine ASAP to save the company. It's not going to happen though. As much as we would want this to happen, as much as car guys would love this, it's not going to happen. They're an Italian company. They're a French company. It would be the smart thing to do. You wouldn't be able to keep those cars in stock, but dear God, it would be a great thing, but it's just not going to happen. It's so sad. They need to sell Chrysler and Dodge to somebody else, but and then kind of they can keep Ram because they don't want to get rid of it, but let somebody else have it, and let somebody else build cars that we want. Benjamin, yes, I'll take a Benjamin question. If you were a tree, what kind of tree would you be? I'd be a larch. The larch, just because it sounds funny. Yes, I've heard that vintage 76 Garage Mazda is bringing back the rotary. As well they should. Actually, a rotary hybrid would be an animal because they're both spinning masses, and it would be the simplest thing in the world to build for high performance. It would rev like a monster, and you wouldn't have to tame down the electric motor that much, and you could get away with not having turbos on the rotary. It would probably get 50 miles to the gallon. Even with a rotary in it, it would probably do incredibly well, but it would be faster than hell. Oh my God. Because it'd still be light, because it would be a hybrid, not an electric. That would be pretty impressive. Barbara DeRush learned how to drive a stick on a Scout International. Wow, we actually had a Scout International. What a great little truck they were in. Yeah, so you had that long stick shift, and that's awesome stuff, man. Sorry, Autobot Al, you can't drive stick. You can't in the club. It's not that hard, actually. I taught my daughter at 16 to drive stick shift. It's not very hard. It's just little patience and just paying attention, and you just get the feel. The car will tell you when you can lift off the clutch and when you need to shift. It'll tell you. The car talks to you. You just have to pay attention. So yeah, you can do it though. It's not that hard. Vintage 76 Garage. Have you seen the new BYD trucks and cars? I've read some articles on it. I've also read that BYD is making a race to the bottom, and the race to the bottom is not good. So they're cutting prices, but they're basically cannibalizing everything. And I don't know how much money the Chinese government wants to throw into BYD. I mean, sooner or later they're going to they're just going to want to give up on it because there's only so much money they can throw into these cars and and try to cut cost and cut price. And because the reality is that Ford loses $60,000 on every Mach E they sell. They lose $65,000 in every Lightning they sell. We don't know how much money Stellantis is losing on the Charger. It's a lot. It's probably closer to $80,000 to $90,000 per car. And over the long haul, the Chinese government can only spend so much money to prop that company up, and sooner or later they're going to throw their hands up. It's just in the long run, it just doesn't work for them. It just won't. Uh, let's see, Benjamin. I remember when I was a teen, I wanted to buy a Mazda RX-7 that had a rotary engine. Have any other car companies used that engine? Nope. That was a Mazda. That was a Mazda special. In fact, Mazda brought that engine to 24 Hours of Daytona, and they also brought it to Le Mans, and they actually won with that car. If memory serves me right, they won with a rotary engine because it is that reliable. It's just that over time, it just wears on the inside. Is Mazda Suez, is Mazda still a company? Yes, it is. It is still it is an independent company. Ford sold their most of their shares in Mazda 15, 20 years ago. They make I think they make the 323 is the only car to make. They don't make the 626. They make some small SUVs. The only thing that Mazda has that of note, the only thing of note is that Mazda has the most expensive. I brought it up a few weeks ago. The most expensive paint color of any normal car. It's that candy apple red. It's a quad level red. It's red. There's red pigment in the clear coat. I mean, it is just absolutely. It's not a tri-coat. It's a quad coat. It's some crazy stuff. Vintage 76 Garage. My local Stellantis dealer has more used cars and trucks on the front of the dealership than new stuff. Wow. I don't know where you live, but where I am, my local Stellantis dealer, he has all his Wranglers, Jeep Wranglers, and he has his little box trucks up in the front because there's nothing else to put up there. I mean, literally, and then a couple of trucks, so they literally have nothing to throw to the front in a lot of anywhere to catch your eye. And for the longest time, this dealer had 5 last call Challengers in a row, and you could see them because they had 2 plum crazy ones, and they would just basically switch the 2 cars. It would switch the cars around, but it was the same 5 cars until they sold them. Finally sold them like December of last year when they were like 2 years old. It was so bad. Yeah. So, but I mean, it's only going to get worse because now they're doubling down on the electric appliance charger, and they're coming out with some Jeep products that really I don't think Jeep people are really that enthused about. And Jeep people are pretty unhappy right now with Jeep. There's just a lot of things they've been doing. And I mean, honestly, I don't know if you're a contractor. I don't know why the hell you'd want to buy a Ram truck. I mean, I'd buy a Chevy with a 5.3 in it, or a Coyote Ford before I bought that inline 6, considering all the problems that engine has. I mean, it's a no-brainer. If you're a contractor, you want to have a V8 in the thing. You want it to go 130, 140,000 miles, and then think about getting rid of it. I mean, good Lord. Let's see. It's Elmwood Dodge, Rhode Island. They don't have any EV chargers. Consider them lucky. Christ, they're just paperweights at this point. I mean, they sold. I mean, they literally sell 400 a month in the entire United States. They have now. I think there's like four. Like national. It's like almost 5,000 of them in for sale, and they have they have 5,000 for sale. Which so at that rate they have. They have like I don't know how many years of supply they have just laying on the lot because they can't get rid of anything. I mean, it's honestly it's at the point of insanity. It's over a year's supply and without building one more car. See, Larry Mondello shoes. Yeah, the 35 it's coming 6.7. That's a good engine. Horrible transmission, but goddamn, that's a good engine. That's a great engine, actually. It's and the air conditioning systems on those trucks stink. So the rotary engine sounds great, except for the seal problem. Do you think in the last 40 years maybe they could figure that out? No, it's just the way the rotary works. This is the outside of the engine. This is the seal, so it kind of rubs on. It's a really tight fit, and it rubs. So and it as it's spinning around, it just rubs to keep the combustion in that one chamber, and it's just and you can't get that much oil on it, and eventually it just wears itself out. So it's not a bad design. I mean, to repair it isn't hard, and I mean, you could probably put a little stronger materials, maybe get 90,000 out of it. But I mean, it is what it is. But if you did that as a hybrid, and you had the rotary, and then you put the electric behind it, and you used a capacitor, not stupid batteries, so you could just run this when you need to. Oh my God, the thing would be just absolutely. Oh, it'd be phenomenal, and it wouldn't be that. It'd be much lighter than any V8, and it would probably run 12-second quarter mile. Easily run a 12-second quarter mile. Oh my God, it'd be one of the greatest things ever. So, yeah, maybe I have to do a thing on the. You have the Allison transmission. Oh, you have the good transmission. Okay, the Allison transmission. That's a hell of a transmission. Because I know you mistyped, but I know what you meant. That Allison transmission is pretty boss, super boss, good stuff. But yeah, and see the. But yeah, I just 5076 with some data for some information. The Germans gave up on rotary engines many years ago. They sold it to Mazda. Yeah, they probably. The thing, for them, they like to have longevity, and I guess that they couldn't make it last that long. So, because if you really think about it, your classic German cars, your BMWs, your Mercedes, your Volkswagens, even Audis, not to that extent, but but the other cars are very common, especially in Germany. They put inline sixes in them or V6s in them, and they just you just drove them and drove them and drove them, or the inline or a Boxster 4 as Volkswagen used and Porsche used. And these are engines that are just super durable, and that's what the Germans like. The Germans love durability in their engines. That's why my '89 BMW has 250,000 miles on it, because it was built to last. I mean, it's so over-engineered for just being an inline six that it's just made to last. It doesn't have many weak spots on it. So, and they kept that all the way up to until they went turbo, and then when they went turbo, it all went to hell. It really did. It all went to hell after they went turbo. Thank you, Barbara DeRush. My misspent youth reading those stupid books behind me is actually paying off, I guess. And actually, I have read all those books, even that Big Hollander book. Yeah, that's all like parts and stuff. Yeah. I am a geek, and I have read the crap car books, and maybe I'll do a little video on the crap cars, because there are some cars that we should forget. I could probably add to that now. That book's about 20 years old. There are some cars, modern cars, I could definitely add to that list because there's some really, really bad cars that have come out in the last 10 years. Really, really terrible cars. Oh man. Yeah, anything with the Chrysler Pentastar 6 in it is usually doomed. Doomed. So so let's continue the winning because we're winning at this point. If you like cars, which is good because we took a bunch of a beating over time, and so here's something kind of fun. It seems as if the California ban on gas powered cars kind of is not going to happen. Congress went, yeah, no, you can't really do that. It's insane because they were coming out with an emissions that the car manufacturers themselves said can't actually happen. So and it actually was a 51 to 44 vote that nullified the waiver granting under the Clean Air Act uh, for California. So maybe this is actually a good thing because California, and when they first started, yeah, okay, I can understand what they were getting at, but of course, the governor, nice hair, and the attorney general. I mean, it's like Congress has control over this, not you, because it's a national standard, and I just hope that God, there's too many ads in this thing, Jesus. Oh my God. Okay, that's enough. Yeah, so literally, we're starting to have some sanity happen. That look, the EVs may have their place, appliances have their place, but it's not as every man's car. Uh, um, it's just not a thing that's gonna really be transit for everyone because basically EVs do have a really serious flaw that home mechanics is it's a deal breaker. You can't work on them. If something breaks on that car, you can't fix it. And I like my F-150 is a modern car. The Bronco is a modern car. I can fix a lot of stuff on those things. I can make them run without having to go to the dealer. And I just can't see, anybody that knows how to wrench or wants to be cost effective actually looking at it and going, "Hey, that's a great idea." No, it isn't. Let's see. What about Al? I want to go boost the car with this. Barbara Drush, can you hotwire a car? An old car? Yes. It's not that actually old Chryslers, actually older than my Charger. But even my Charger, if you get the hood open, is really, really easy to hotwire because the only thing is that after 67, they have steering column locks. But Uncle Tony's Garage did this on his 67 Dart. Literally, he had it running and was driving off in under 30 seconds. And it's because once you get power to the coil, you do a jumper to the coil. Once the coil has power, if it's a points car, no electronic ignition, you could jump it under the hood and have it running in 30 seconds. Now, my car, you'd have to go under the dash and cross the wires that start it and cross the run. So the red, you have the red power wire, which is always hot, and then you have the yellow wire to tell the starter to go. You just cross that, and then you have the black run wire, and you're off to the races. You just bypass all that, break the steering lock, and now you're driving the car. And actually breaking the steering lock in those cars isn't very hard. Actually, the General Motors cars at that time were the easiest. That's why General Motors went to the dash. You ever see a General Motors car? They have it's in the dash, the key. They did that because their steering column locks were garbage, and people were able to steal the cars without any real effort. And that was kind of a real issue. It was a real issue for them. So they ended up they ended up having to do that. But yeah, hot wiring cars used to be now it's impossible to hot wire a car. But except if it's a Chrysler, I'll get to that. Except if it's a Chrysler product, you get that little thing that mimics the signal and just get in between you and the car and the owner on the other side, and you pick up the signal, and then you can just mimic it, and you can start it and drive off. Yeah, Chrysler, Stellantis has the worst security systems, absolutely, utterly. Vintage 76 Garage. Are you up to date on Uncle Tony and Dead Dodge Garage? Yes and no. Dead Dodge Garage been doing like 30-minute videos, and it's a little long for me. I guess I have ADHD for some point, but I mean, like when I do a video, I try to keep it under 15 minutes, depending on subject matter. I try to like do the 10 to 12, that sweet spot. But honestly, yeah, I watch it. Uncle Tony, when he's doing stuff on cars, I'll do it. But the motorcycle stuff, I'll watch a little bit, but it's like, okay. A good channel is TK's Garage, because he has a lot of on newer cars. He has a lot of stuff on Stellantis. And OC Motivator, also a lot of stuff. If you're gonna go buy a car, I'd watch his channel. Because this dude, he's ruthless with dealers, utterly ruthless, and nothing worse than that. Nothing worse than that. The dealers are terrible. They see you and they go, "Woof, gone in 30 seconds." But then it's absolutely on the dash until 68. Oh, the General Motors, yeah. Then he went to column. Then they went back to the dash because, well, things. Yeah, the Kia, they come no. The Kias did though. Kia and Hyundai, because they couldn't fix their security system. They were Stellantis-esque, and they gave you the club, which is easily defeated. It's maybe one of the most easily defeated things out there. Yeah, Jamie. People still use it, but they're useless. It is literally, you can cut the steering wheel and just get it off. I mean, if you really don't care, you can get into a car and drive it off very, very easily. If you don't care, you can get a car started. Just put it that way. Even especially, but in new cars, if you can mimic the key fob, you don't have to break anything. You have to do anything. You just drive off with it. Except those Kias and Hyundais with the clubs, then you just gotta cut the club or cut the steering wheel and then drive the car. I mean, so there's that. I think they fixed it, but Stellantis still hasn't fixed it. Up through the last call cars, the last call Chargers and Challengers, they were getting stolen off lots because somebody would come in and ask for a test drive. The salesman would use the thing to unlock the car. They'd have the little device. They'd take the device. They'd get the thing. Then they would do a copy and then go back later that night and drive the car off the lot, because that's what happens. It's car theft has gotten very creative these days. And the thing is, they don't really do chop shops anymore. That's really not a major thing. Now it's putting them in containers, shipping containers, and sending them off to a foreign country and selling them there, because they can get a hell of a lot of money for a lot of the cars that we have now or in other places in the world. So there's that. Okay. We're gonna let's go and kind of wind down with some classic car news, because this is interesting. Because I had a question asked of me, like, is there a thing? I heard YouTube prefers long videos. Yeah, yes and no. They want stuff that's interactive, good looking, kind of, well, good sound on and stuff. That's why I try to work hard on my sound. But for length, they like stuff like this where it's an hour, 2 hours, or the other podcasts I do, Radio Gunk, when we do like 2 hours. They like that type of stuff. I watch what I really watch long form is like the Critical Drinker, Nerdrotic, Desperoo. These channels that they're all pop culture, and that works really great. I can listen to that and don't have to watch. I can kind of do that. One guy I do like his long form is I Do Cars, and he has the most golden opportunity. He's so smart that he figured this out. He has a scrapyard in St. Louis, and he sells used engine parts and used engines. So now he takes apart engines that other people done blowed up, which is great. To look at a blowed up engine is pretty fun as long as it's not yours. So, oh, Jesus, Jamie, I have a friend that keeps a hammer in their car door as a weapon for protection. Do you keep any in your car just in case? Let me just say, I live in the free state of Florida, so we'll let you understand what I probably am protecting myself with. Need to do a video of car songs one night. Oh my God, you know what? Do a countdown of the top 10 car songs. I'm gonna write that down. Actually, I'm not gonna be on next week. I have family obligations, uh, vacation almost. But I think when I come back, maybe I'll do that. We can do top 10. Well, the only problem with doing car songs is I can't really play them. I can put the lyrics up because of YouTube and their very litigious ways. That video would be as dead as doornail. Barbara uses wasp spray. Yeah, wasp spray is pretty nasty. Exactly all about. Oh my God. Benjamin, get him to do those reaction videos to songs he's never heard. Oh my God. The problem is that uh, I have heard like everything because I kind of like music. So I've even listened to a lot of rap, which I don't really particularly like very much. The only thing I haven't heard a lot of is country, but I don't know if I want to torture myself like that. But as far as because the charismatic voice I like, and there's one other one. I actually watch those videos. Yeah, I know. I watch those videos. Well, the girls are cute and they're pretty smart. There's two of them that they're both pretty sharp, and one of them is an opera singer, and she actually really hasn't heard any of this stuff. And her explanation of how the voice works is pretty impressive. I find it kind of cool. But yeah, maybe we could do this top 10. I just can't. I could do the lyrics. I could play video, but no sound. um, it's Vintage 76 Garage. I think there's a car song with a Mopar car mentioned in it. There's a few actually. One of them is actually by Primus, the girl from Kalamazoo. It has a Chrysler mention. Also Love Shack, and we always do the stretch, and we say that Barracuda, even though it's about a guy that is a womanizer, it just sounds cool. Oh my God, I want to see Dennis listen to Coal Miner's Daughter. Oh dear Christ, I don't know if I can. I don't know if I can handle that. I don't know if I can handle Coal Miner's Daughter. Dear God, no. I grew up in New York City. I don't know of this, man. I don't know of Coal Miner's Daughter. How did others get away with playing songs? What they're doing is they end up basically paying a royalty fee for using the song. Uh, so their take on the video would be half of what it normally would be. But YouTube, I think the payout on those is actually not bad because people watch them long form, and they're usually 20-25 minutes long. So that's why. Mustang Sally, yes. Barbara DeRush loves 50 Cent. 50 Cent. He got shot like 5 times. So I'll give him I'll give him respect, man. He got shot 5 times in the club. I actually do know that song. Yes. What about Al Panama by Van Halen is my car jam. Yep. So fun fact. I actually, God, this is so awful. Because I can't stand Bon Jovi, but I play I can't even I play Living on a Prayer every time I bought a BMW because that was the first song I ever heard in a BMW. So it was a 1984 BMW 318i that had a Blaupunkt system in it that had, I think, like 400 watts. It hurt. But that was the song that I was playing. So when I bought my first BMW in 2002, I had that on CD and I drove out of the lot laying rubber listening to that song. And I did the same thing with my 330, this car, laid rubber coming out of there listening to that. And then when I bought this car, I did the same thing, the 325, which I used to race. And that's me autocrossing. And I think I have videos somewhere of me doing that. The autocrossing is kind of fun, especially if you have the right car. See, it was hot out. I had the little vent windows open in the back. It was last year of that too. So yeah. And oh, I'm sorry, Autobot. He got shot 9 times. Jesus. Anything over once is a lot. Uh God. So oh, yes. Event, yeah. Oops. Why thank you, Barbara. Thank you. Oh, I'm blushing. Vintage 76 Garage. I remember the 84 318i model. Yeah. My uncle's friend Brian had it. Brian was a serious bodybuilder and a painter. And he wanted this car. So he had everything done to it like before it even left the lot. And he spent a lot of money. He even had a full Bilstein on there, adjustable Bilsteins. This car literally would go around corners at 40 miles an hour. I mean, it was just psychotic, this car. And that car just kept on going and going and going. It was a fun car. Not that fastest straight line, but my God, when you got the twisty bits, and that's what I love about that 325 I have. You get the twisty bits. That car is just a beast. With that 325 I have, no, this car. Um, I actually go out with a BMW club here, and most of them have newer M's and stuff. And we have really twisty roads near us. And when we get into the real twisties, they can't pull away from me. In fact, I come right up on top of them because I that car can just handle so incredibly well because it weighs 2,600 pounds with me in it. It is a light little car, and everything on it's just tuned to make it so it corner really, really fast. So, the straightaway they just blow right by me. But yeah, so yeah, that was a whole thing. Barbara Doers, do you have to crank White Snake if you're driving a Camaro. You have to. Either that or vanilla ice. Benjamin, have you ever hit an alligator on the road? No, thank Christ, no. My friend Raphael, who unfortunately is not with us anymore, he was coming back from Sebring with his BMW E46, towing a trailer with his track tires on it. And he was in the middle of Florida on Highway 70. I mean, this is the old Tamiami Trail, and he's driving down it, and it was 64. I think it was 64 actually. And he's driving down it, and he hit a 6-foot alligator. He did so much damage to the bottom of his car. He had an intercooler. It actually damaged the intercooler because the car was supercharged. Damaged the intercooler. The trailer came like 6 feet in the air behind him. I mean, it was absolutely, because that's like hitting a rock. It was really crazy. Jamie, I think Mo probably will run over an alligator on the way back. She's leaving soon. I imagine that she will hit an alligator. She's already killed Bambi and destroyed her car. So I think that alligator is on that list. And she, you know what? When she comes back down, maybe I should get a little stickers of animals with crosses through them. That's a great idea. And Mo, if you know, I do another podcast. It's a really silly one called Radio Gung, and she's the host of it. And she hit a deer earlier this year with a BMW, and the car got totaled because she destroyed the headlights and did a little bit of structural damage. But they don't like fixing headlights and stuff on cars anymore. So alligators. Yeah, you don't want to hit an alligator. That's a solid thing. That's a terrible thing. So yeah, the so every I had once again I had been asked, is there like an index for old cars? And actually there is, and it's done by Haggerty. They're an insurance company, so they kind of have this data of their cars they insure, and they also pull stuff from auctions. And wow, the the thing is that they're showing, and I've been talking about how the market itself has gotten a little soft, and right now they're saying the slide is paused, but it's not going anywhere. Look at this Buick GS. God, I love those cars. Um, so you see what they did is, with all this information, they make it like the stock market. And here, this one is basically starting at 50 is literally the mean. And if you look, where the market itself has actually, it's down to where it was in like 2012. I mean, so things are really getting a little weak out there. The index, where they this take a more conglomerate of different cars. It's really gotten weak, and I think we've gone PSP car, and a lot of it is can be seen in this one, where blue chips are your really high end, like Corvettes and Jaguars and Porsches, the classics. But the one is here is the American cars. Now 100, right, was in 2007. The 50s Americans cars are like dead. And it's kind of a thing. 50s cars are really not a thing anymore, and that's kind of part of it. If you look here, though, the one thing that's really gone crazy is affordable. And I did a whole video on that because it's really not a lot. And muscle cars, which is this one right here. If I can make it just go away. Muscle cars here. It had its little run, but it's kind of flat. And of course, German cars are very, very, very hot right now. Anything BMW, anything BMW or Mercedes, classic Mercedes, Volkswagen. Volkswagen is extremely hot. GTIs are a hot car right now. So those cars are doing a lot better than our classic muscle, and especially the 1950s cars. And it's kind of, but this is kind of a whole gauge on how the market is going. And honestly, go to your nearest consignment, and you'll see how bad it is, because your nearest consignment store will have probably cars everywhere. They'll probably not be able to know what to do all of them. And you'll see a lot of 50s cars because they're not selling. Yeah. So it's kind of a thing. Everybody's talking about what they're hitting. So Ed Rooney, guy hit a bear. Well, Mo can hit one of those too, because Mo has bears near her house. She can probably hit a bear too. What about all runs over possums? We have possums, but we also have armadillos. And it's kind of sad to see them because they are harmless. They eat little insects and stuff. And wait, here's Puzzle. Okay, Puzzle is now here. She's decided to join us as we're starting to wrap this up. But yeah, we have armadillos, and they don't see really well. They don't move very fast. So there it is. Vintage 76, the late 80s Japanese car, the new muscle car. I would even up you one. Now the mid 90s Japanese car, because they can be imported, are absolutely everywhere down here. They are they are everywhere. I see so many right-hand drive cars now. It is actually and it's all GTRs. I mean, the main car getting brought in is GTRs. I mean, there's some Toyota, some Supras, uh, you know, uh, but the GTR is literally the car that everybody wants. Any version of it, any version of that Nissan, doesn't have to be the GTR. There's another. This is not a great look. There's another model that not a GTR, but it's just as fast. They just didn't put all the extra trick stuff on it. So I mean, it's like it really is what everybody is going for. And actually, I read an article that like the market has changed because of the type of buyer, like my age and younger. Because my age, I actually would look at a late 80s BMW just as hard as I'd look at a 70 Charger. And it just depends. And to me, like 50s cars are an just they're old to me, because 50s cars were barely used by the time I was born. And I was born in 71. So like a 55 was a done car at that point. They have no safety at all on them. They have single master cylinder brakes. They have drum brakes, steel dashes, may have safety glass, may not. They handle like garbage. Oh yeah, their motors aren't great, and the transmissions are junk. Yeah, so this is like, yeah, no. So that's kind of an issue. Yeah, sideways 117, 31, and rather have a late 60s cars than any newer in the 80s. I understand. Late 60s cars you could work on and fix. Early 70s cars you could work on and fix. Actually, anything before 74 is not that hard to work on. But 90s and up, now you're going to start getting in. When you start getting computers and fuel injection, it actually starts getting a little, especially early fuel injection. It is not pleasant to work with. It really isn't. Early computers aren't, because Ford, especially with their EC, they had EC2 and EC3 before they came out with EC4, which actually worked. EC2 and EC3 were horrible. Oh my God, everything about them. They couldn't set timing with it. It wouldn't automatically set timing. So you had to set it yourself, and it was behind the glove box. It was just, so I understand this, and I'm with you on that. But anything in the 50s is just, and that's why that market's so soft. I mean, it's hard to sell a 50s cars now. Articulate John, was the PT Cruiser the ugliest car ever made? Pretty damn close. Actually, when my daughter was younger, the Intrepid Assistant, we had a cat that was a little chunkier than Puzzle. And she looked at a PT Cruiser without any prompting from me and went, "Oh my God, that's Gina," which was named the cat. "That car looks like Gina." And I'm like, "Oh my God, it was PT Cruiser." Actually, the funniest thing I ever seen was out in Vegas. Went to a junkyard with my uncle, and there was 50, and I counted them, 50 PT Cruisers in a line in a junkyard, all brought in at the same time. Just a line of PT Cruisers. And I'm like, "Oh, wow, there's some junk." So, yeah, that was a whole thing. Oh my God, we're the same age, like twinsies. But I bet you don't have your hair didn't turn white from a daughter. Yes, a red 67 convertible. Yeah, absolutely. Very nice car. But you have to get a white interior or a black interior. You don't do the triple red, the double red. It's nasty. Oh my God, Sue M. Thank you, Sue M. 1999. Puzzle appear. You see that puzzle? You get appearance fees now. You're gonna be swimming in catnip. Should be swimming in catnip. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. PT losers. Pimp my ride. Jamie, I couldn't. That's like watching what was that clown, the flavor of the week clown. They had a show, and he would just do the most god awful things to cars, and it literally It literally just made me and it just made me sick. I don't like seeing cars just getting sculpted beyond belief. Ed Rooney is much younger and more hip, on the other hand. Good for you. Someone's doing well. I don't know. Who do you mean? Right now, my cat's licking my leg. I think I'm doing very well. Same hospital would be legit. No, no, I doubt he was. I grew up in Staten Island, New York. So, uh, my favorite car TV show. Now, are you talking about like a show that's just about working on cars, or a show that featured cars? Because a car show that featured cars was Mod Squad. That was my favorite car show for like that. Now, my favorite car show is Bitchin' Rides. I love Bitching Rides. I think that Kendig is a great designer. He respects the design of the car when he modifies it. He's like the guys that he's like Barris when he made the lead sweat. Oh, I can't even say it. Lead sleds. You respected the shape of the car, and you just brought a touch to it. And you watch some of those bitchin' rides, and those cars, and they're built well, and they do last. And and it's a very good show to watch. It's one of my now one I really loved, and I actually was in a testing group for it. Was called Fat and Fat and Furious. Wait, Fat and Fat and Furious. Yeah, Fat and Furious. Um, and it was these real engine builders out in Ohio. And I mean, these guys, 3 bills easy. 3 bills easy. They look like my great uncles. They're huge. But it was a legitimate show on building fast race cars. Not no care for the street use or whatever. And uh and then I forgot about that. Damn it. Oh, there's so many of them. Um But, this show was great in that they literally asked the question, "How fast can you make it?" And the guys go, "How much money you got?" Literally, that's always the answer for speed. Yes, counting cars, if you're in Vegas, go see his collection. Greatest collection you'll ever see. Old British Top Gear. Jeremy Clarkson is my favorite human on earth. I love Jeremy Clarkson. Absolutely the biggest loudmouth bastard on the planet, and I love everything about it. Their review of cars, what they did to cars, and then of course, their new show, which is still fabulous, Grand Tour, still fun. I mean, those guys have fun together. Wheel of Dealers was good when Ed was on there. Ed is a mechanic that can fix anything. I saw him do body work on a Ferrari, and I'm like, what can't this guy do? He was pretty amazing. Riptide, yes. Um, Simon and Simon, because they had that. What was that? That was a GMC they had. They had the roof came off. It was the first generation. Ben needs to come on mic for one of these shows. I don't know if I can handle that. Clarkson's Farm show is funny. Yes, Jeremy Clarkson is hilarious. Actually, there's videos on YouTube of him doing outtakes for his his little mini keg system, and it'll make you cry. It is so absolutely funny. It was a Power Wagon. I knew it was. It's been so long since I've seen it, but I remember that truck. It was crazy, absolutely crazy. It was when they made those mid-size, actually full-size SUVs, and they were just like, just absolute beast. And you could just do anything with them. So yeah, honestly wonderful. And but I and Dukes of Hazard. I mean, honestly, how can you not like Dukes of Hazard? I mean, they had fast cars, they had hot girls, It had somewhat of a story, kinda, sorta. Daisy actually had a '73 Roadrunner, and after she in the, like, the 3rd season, they gave her a '73 Roadrunner. I actually have a model of it. Starsky and Hutch with the yeah, with the Ford, the Torino. American Chopper was interesting. I enjoyed it like you'd enjoy a soap opera. Uh, I the builds okay. The interaction, I don't think that was an act. I think those guys are crazy and good. It was entertaining TV because they are crazy. Yes, we'll do Flash. Ah, Gordon. Yes, of course. But yeah, now I have to see the show Duster. I probably would have to go sail the 7 seas since I don't have a subscription. So maybe I'll watch Duster and do a review on it. If it's really car worthy, I don't know because it's interesting that they picked a Duster. Uh, it's such an ambiguous car. It's 1971, 70 to 1976. Uh, that's right. Someday the mountain might get them, but the law never will. That is absolutely 100% correct. That is just a beautiful thing. It is utterly. It's beautiful. Tell X to send you the Duster show. Haha. That's also wanted to host on Gunk. But no, no, no. I have the ability also to sail the 7 seas, otter mighty, and get things to watch because it's not that hard, especially the way they do things today. It's not that hard. And sometimes, there's some companies I just don't want to give money to Disney, and the show's not bad. I'll watch it. Barbara's leaving. She has to go. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you, Barbara, and thanks for the chat. Oh my God. Oh well, the wind has now come out of my sails. Barbara's now leaving. It's almost time. It's almost time to call it quits at this point. Even though I'm kind of having fun. Actually, I'm having fun. Of course, I am. Yeah, and anything as long as I'm not having to fix my car on the side of the road, I'm having fun. Yeah. Or fix my computer, which I have to do tomorrow. Because yeah, I don't know if anybody out there has ever had this happen where you lost all your admin rights. Yeah, that happened to me on a Windows machine. So yeah, I also know how to work on computers and I just can't wait. I can't. I'm so excited. Just let it die. So I hope everybody likes the new ambiance I put back there. I put some lighting back there now. I'm trying to make this look like a studio. It's been a lot of work. So I'm trying to make it a little more ambiotic. So and we'll keep on working on these shows and try to bring more stuff. It's only the eighth one. So we'll figure out where we are. Next week though, we won't be I will not be here. I will be busy doing other things. And yes, I feel like I have a Stellantis computer today. Yes. Thank you, Autobot. Yeah. It's actually it was so funny. Those LEDs, they came with a dresser I bought, and I'm like, why the hell would I put why would I put LEDs on a dresser? What am I doing here? Uh you going to miss it next week? No, you can't miss it. It won't be there. No, I know what you mean. No, I'm yeah, I just have daughter's graduating, so there's a whole bunch of things. The week after though, I will have bigger and better and I'll have 2 weeks of garbage to talk about because I have a feeling there's gonna be a lot of stuff happening in the next 2 weeks. Yes, yes, he's there. Yes, yes, he's there. Yes, that's also from the other podcast I'm on because why not? That's pure silliness. It's not done in a serious manner like this show or my videos. Let's see. Question, Jamie, are you very meticulous when it comes to having a clean car like you are with your driveway? Yes, actually, I'm actually really bad about that. Um, I get I don't like having stuff in my car. Like I can like my charger. I'll have a lot of things in the trunk because you can go to shows and all. But I have kind of a pattern for it. It's kind of full, but all the chairs are laid there. I have, all my storage stuff is over the right rear wheel. Very, organized. Inside the car's nothing. My BMWs, nothing on the inside, nothing except a towel. You need to always carry a towel. The truck, even at its worst, it's not that bad. I mean, I have storage stuff behind this, but honestly, it's not filthy. I wipe it down. I make sure I go to a car wash with it all the time. Yeah, I'm pretty. The thing is, I treat every car like it's the last car I'm ever gonna own, and I was always instilled in me since I was a little kid to treat stuff like that because it's just it makes sense because it lasts longer when you treat it well. So I do these things, but yeah, I'm very. I guess I am very meticulous like that. Like I have to have windows that are clean. I have to have mirrors that are clean. The can't really have dirt all over the car. It drives me nuts. The wheels need to be kind of clean or very clean. Yeah, I'm that person. Even with the truck, I'm just that person. I even keep my trailer that way. Yeah. So yeah, I'm meticulous. Ed Rooney, I've been fixing my tire on the road for a good chunk of this episode. Cool. Excellent. So I hope you're A, far away from everything, and B, you have a nice flat surface, and also that you have good tools to be able to change it because damn, that sucks. That absolutely sucks. Uh yes, Benjamin, if yeah, the show needs an opening of you washing your driveway. Yeah, yeah, okay. Can Ben Fitlin if he kind of knows cars. I'm like a certain shock jock. I don't like having a guest host. So, yes, I wonder if Ed hit an alligator. Oh, the big thing I've been doing now when I travel, like when I go to Mo Party in September, long, especially when I'm towing, I actually bring my cordless impacts with me because I sure as hell am not going to change a tire by hand. If I'm gonna have that type of problem, I want to make it as easy as humanly possible. Oh, come on, you have to know something. I just retain stuff like useless facts. I'm like Cliff Clavin of cars. But yeah, so but that's a kind of a little tip there. I mean, if you're going on any type of trip and you have like a cordless impact, or if you don't have a cordless impact, you're going on a trip, buy one because you'll never realize how much easier it is if you can just go zap, 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 and be able to pull the wheel off after you jacked it off the ground. So you don't have to loosen them, then jack it up, and then finish it. So it's not the best. So I learned my lesson a long time ago that I really don't like doing that. Holy, you oh my god, Ed Rooney found half a utility knife blade stuck in the tire. Damn. That's the weirdest thing I've ever heard. Wow. Wow. I guarantee it was used to be attached to the utility blade, to the rest of the knife, but that kind of flew off, and the blade made sure it got very deep into your tire. How nice. I hope it's in the middle so they can fix it. Because it has to be patched because it's a slice. You can't put a plug in that because it's a slice. But yeah, I would hopefully it's in the middle and they can patch it because damn tires are expensive. Jesus. What size spare tire do you carry for your charger? Very good question. Actually, I carry a 225 7014. It's the same height as the tires on the car, which are 17s. But I only bought 4 17-inch rims, so I have a 14-inch spare. It is a rally wheel. Oh, no, it's original. It's a black wheel. It's the original spare tire. So there's that. Yes, one of those small Harbor Freight jacks, absolutely, with the impact sideways 170. Actually, when I did my cross country trip, which I down there wherever my videos are, I actually made sure that we had one of those aluminum jacks because especially doing cross country, I'm like, I sure as hell am not going to use the jack in this car to jack this car if we have this type of problem. And bring a can of semi tractor trailer fix a flat that will pump a tire up. Bring a pump, but bring that. You'll be able to go, another 100 miles. Ed Rooney was just in front of my house. Oh my god! Wow. Oh, so it just sat in the driveway with the flat. That's so depressing. You come out and you look at you see a damn flat tire. Oh. Sideways 117 had my wheel fall off first of the month. Oh my god. Would have been nice. Oh dear lord, that's terrible. Wow, you must live near construction or something. Jamie's had a lot of slow leaks in tires because of nails. Yeah. Wow, that's unreal. No, I don't, Sue M. I don't think that somebody. I honestly think you ran over it. I ran over a bolt once, literally a legitimate bolt. It was black on the blacktop. Couldn't see it, and it went right through my tire. It's amazing what people drop on the road and didn't realize they dropped it. And it could have been a worker and he dropped, had it in the back of the truck, fell on the ground. It's amazing how much damage it could do. I wouldn't get too paranoid about it. I usually if it's not the side of the tire, if it's in now wait, is it in the side of the tire? If it's in the side of the tire, yeah, somebody did you dirty. Yeah. Though if I am upset, and I'm saying I haven't done this, but I always carry for some reason or other, I carry a thing to take out the center of the little needle inside the 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 inflator and God of my words. And how does Fix a Flat do that? Magic. Fix a Flat is especially if you buy the tractor trail one. The tractor trail one's like it's over a foot tall. So on a car, it will pretty much fill the tire up, and then you just get your little pump, and you're good to go for a while. What sideways 117? Are you going to drive Route 66 on 100th anniversary next year? Maybe. I did small sections of Route 66 on our trip last year, and I actually have some video of it. The musical highway is depressing now. It's outside of Albuquerque, and it doesn't work. I doubled back on it twice, and it made no sounds. Or it made weird. It didn't make a music anymore. It used to play America the Beautiful, I think, and it doesn't. We stopped at the halfway point. I have a video of that. And there's a diner there that serves green chili apple pie. Highly recommend it. Very, very good. Don't remember the name of the place, but it's at the midway point. There's nothing else there except windmills and wind. And yeah, and a sign that says it's the halfway point. So contemplating it, wouldn't mind doing it. It would be something different. It's a long drive because it starts up in Chicago and ends in what, LA? Yeah. Yeah. Be kind of fascinating though. I had to think about that one. That, yeah. So that's kind of a fun thing. It does sound like a fun thing. I don't know, but what I want to do is a power tour, but they're now doing them all in Indiana and stuff, and I'm not driving 2,500 miles than to drive 1,500 miles to then drive 2,500 miles. Schraderval, thank you. I am almost semi retarded today. Oh my God, musical highway in Detroit plays Highway to Hell. Wow. Damn. I think on on that bombshell, we should end this broadcast, and hopefully Ed gets his it gets his tire all set up, and hopefully he can get it fixed because yeah, Power Tour sounds like a good time on the buck. Oh, absolutely! It just has to come back south again because I missed the one where they came out of Orlando, and I was hoping they did again because my Charger is ready to do it easily. He could easily do it. So I'll get killed on gas, but who cares? All right. So on all that fun stuff, remember, if you have, I thank you all for coming. I thank for the super. I thank for all the good conversation, the interesting comments, Benjamin, and I hope you got something from this. Hope you enjoyed it. Please tell others about it. Please tell others about my videos. I try to put some thought in my videos that have some sort of something different. Just kind of like I'm just a car guy, and that's kind of what I do, and I have my car guy opinions. So tell them, now remember though, if you have a classic car or something fun to drive, you take that out because it will make someone's day, and it'll probably be your own. And I will catch you very soon. Well, not that soon, but soon enough. All right. Bye, all. And if you liked what you saw, subscribe. If you didn't, thank you for watching to this point. And as always, if you have a cool car or something fun to drive, take it out. You'll make someone's day, probably your own.